5:40 right now here at the Lansing State Capitol, and we have about 125, maybe about 150 people out here for this protest that's happening to bring the 15 wrongfully detained Hmong refugees back home. So on July 15th, 15 Hmong refugees were detained by ICE. There's been resources saying that they're currently at Baldwin, some other people saying a few other places. Right now, this protest is just beginning. It was beginning at 5:30. It's about 5:40 right now. We've got a nice crowd. And again, about 120, 150 people who are out here right now. And we're going to keep you updated with some of the speeches and a couple of the other things that are going to be happening today. So stay tuned. I'm Jackie K, your Now News representative out here on the ground in Lansing, capital city.
I want to thank all of you guys for being here. It's on such a short notice. And I'm looking in the crowd and I'm seeing people of all different backgrounds and ages and economic and social backgrounds. But you know what we all have in common? We want to feel safe. We want our children to feel safe. We want to live in safe neighborhoods. We want our children to have a quality education. And we want our damn roads to be fixed. We all want the same things, no matter where we came from, what we look like. We all share these things in common because we are human beings. And you know, these Hmong refugees, they are missing. And no one has been able to tell me where they are. So we are not going to stop until they come home. Just mark my words. So you should be angry. If you are not angry, and many of you have seen me cry and dropping my tears, and I read every single one of your comments, I hope you know, when I respond to you, that is me in the middle of the night or in the bathroom trying to get my 2 minutes with the kids banging on the door. That is me talking to you. So I'm going to say some things today that people and others will think that a politician will not say. But guess what? I'm not a politician. I am a mom. I am a refugee. I ran for office because I was sick and tired of the people making decisions for communities like mine when they have never stepped foot and lived a day in my life. When they have no idea of the struggles that my family faced in order to bring me to this country. So no, I'm not a politician. I am one of you. And when they do that to one of us, they are doing it to all of us. So you should be upset. The first thing I want to tell you, I want to be very clear why we are in this situation. It is because of this administration. It is because of these Republicans. This is not a pandemic. This is not a natural disaster we are facing. This is all being created by the Republican Party. And I am sick and tired of it. And if you are not angry, if you are not upset, you should be. But take all of that anger, take all of that energy, and turn it into advocacy. And join me in this fight, because I cannot fight alone. As the only Hmong American refugee elected in the state of Michigan, my week and my past has been extremely dark. The path to where I have been and where I'm going, I have felt alone. Not only because I've lost my parents, but because every time I turn on the TV or every time I sit at the table, it feels like I'm the only person there. So I need all of you to step up, to do your part, because I can't hold all of this. I cannot bear this burden. It is bigger than me. These are policies that are deeply, deeply flawed. Why we are here today. Laws created by the very people who have never experienced what it is like to cross rivers and oceans just to bring their family to safety. These are the people making decisions for us at all levels of government. And if you are not upset, you should be, because we need to change policies. We need to change people's perspective. We need to change the law. And don't tell me that we are not law-abiding citizens, because we are, but the law is working against us. So why would we stand for that? Why would you stand for that? Does that make you feel okay? No. We are not in a pandemic, okay? But we are in a crisis. We are in an economic crisis. This is not a border security issue. These people did not cross the border recently. They have lived here for decades. They've built lives here. They have families here, just like all of you. However you came here, you deserve a second chance. We are in this crisis because Republicans have put us in this situation. So we need to get them all out of office. Do you agree with me? Say it again. Yes. Let's get them out. Let's get them out. Let's get them out. Let's get them out of office. We are only in this situation today because of them. They have fueled this crisis. They have fueled all of these things. Cuts to Medicaid, cuts to free breakfast and lunch, cuts to everything, just so they can give billionaires and millionaires tax cuts, just so they can redirect 70 billion with a B, $billion to border security and immigration control. You know what that means? If they come after your family, they're going to come after you. They're going to come after your neighbor. If they're not safe, what makes you think you are? Even as an elected official, you think it's not lost upon me that the louder I speak, the louder I shout?
Your community has you. We're with you.
We have to stand together, because together we are stronger. Together we are stronger. They can come after one person, but they can't come after millions of people. So you guys should be as upset as I am, because what they are doing is wrong. Redirecting money to border security and immigration control, giving bonuses to hire more ICE officers. What do you think that means? They want to detain more people. And these individuals came here lawfully, so I don't want to hear that excuse that they're illegal. No one is illegal. They're taking away their rights to make them illegal. I came here to this country because of war and persecution. My father fought alongside American soldiers, just like these individuals who have been kidnapped by ICE while at work, when they willingly walked into a building trying to undo the mistakes that they have made. And if you believe in God, if you believe in forgiveness, if you believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, then you should understand that these people should be provided a pathway to forgiveness and to redemption. So that is not an excuse. These people have served their time. We have a justice system in place. We have a process for people who commit crimes, and they have served their times. How many more times do you want to punish them for the rest of their lives? Because they're taking away people from their families while they are at work. These are taxpayers. These are Michiganders. They pay taxes. And if you don't care because you're not an immigrant or you're not a refugee, I hope you care about your pocketbooks. I hope you care about the fact that refugees and immigrants contribute billions of dollars in state and local and federal revenue. And the more people that they take away, the less revenue we will have. Michigan is already going to lose $1.1 billion because of this big, what are we gonna call it? Big ugly bill. $1.1 billion. That doesn't include all of the Medicaid cuts that we are going to experience. and the business tax cuts, the tax revenue, $600 million, and it continues to go down year over year over year. We are facing an economic crisis that was created by this administration and the Republican Party. This is a problem that they can fix, and they have refused to listen. They don't pick up their phones, they don't hold coffee hours, they don't hold town halls. They are hiding from all of us. Where are they? Where are they? I mean, they have my cell phone. They can text me. They can call me. None of them have called to ask how is my community doing. I talk about my story all the time. You guys hear it. And for a long time, I was ashamed to share my story. I was ashamed of where I came from because I wanted to have blonde hair and blue eyes, and I wanted to look like the people on TV or the people I went to school with. I was ashamed. But you know what I realized? Is you have to use your voice. You have to tell your stories. No one is going to tell them for you. So tonight you are going to hear from the family members that have been impacted, because it is not just these individuals that have been taken. These are real people's lives. These are our neighbors. These are our coworkers. These are our children's classmates' parents that have been taken away from us. And you have to use your voice, because if you don't, then they will continue to fearmonger and to spread false things about us as being dangerous. These people are not the worst of the worst criminally illegal aliens. First of all, they came here legally. Their family fought and saved American troops' lives. They have built their lives here for decades. They are contributing members to our society, and they are not the worst of the worst. You think if they were the worst of the worst, would they show up to an ICE interview? No. Would they willingly walk into an ICE building? No. If they were the worst of the worst criminally illegal aliens, if that is the intent of this administration and the Republican Party in telling all of my constituents and our neighbors that they must round up people and deport them because they are afraid, well, then I think they need to get rid of the person in the White House. Yeah! Because if this is about crimes, if this is about committing crimes against others and trying to keep our community safe, because remember, I said all of us, we want the same thing. We want to live in safe neighborhoods. We want our kids to be able to go outside and ride their bike around the block without fearing that they may be kidnapped. We all want those things. And I remember what it was like to be young. Did you guys ever see Gran Torino? These people were hunters. They were farmers. They were guerrilla warfare soldiers. And then they had children like me, because when I came here, I was 3 years old. Some folks were a little bit older. And they were plopped in the middle of an urban, suburban city community where they had to get a fishing license if they wanted to go fishing, or if they had to get a hunting license if they wanted to go hunting. And then they would tell their kids, you know, don't forget the culture, don't forget the language, don't forget your roots. And then they end up going to school and being acclimated with American culture. And it's confusing, right? It's confusing because you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, you're trying to fit in. Everybody doesn't look like you. You almost think there's something wrong with you. And then you do things like you run away. Maybe you break into a car. Maybe you're so desperate for food that you have to resort to stealing, whatever that may be. And I am not saying, I want to be very clear, that if you break the law, there are consequences, and you will be held accountable, and you have to be responsible for your actions. It isn't an excuse, but I hope you will understand the compassion of these people who came here with literally nothing but their clothes on the backs of their backs, or the shoes that they were wearing. And they were expected to acclimate, to learn the language, to fit in, and I don't know, like get rid of DEI or something, right? How is that? How is a normal person supposed to function? Do you think if someone picked you up and plopped you in another country right now, that you would be able to just be able to go on with your life as though everything is fine and dandy? These people built their lives here for decades. Decades. They have children here. These are their children. These are their nieces and nephews. How do you think they are going to be when they go home tonight? Without a father, without a mother? How? Do you not worry about this future? If we want to be in our safe neighborhoods, if we want our children to succeed and be good contributing members of our society, they need to be in stable environments. And they are breaking families apart. This cycle is going to repeat. But in this country, this is not the country that my parents fought so hard for. That they did not die in vain fighting for America's freedom. This cannot be. This has to be the land that people continue to die crossing rivers and oceans just to come to bring their family here so that they can have a better opportunity. That is all we are asking for. No handouts. Everything I had to earn. I didn't grow up with parents that were rich or that were politicians. And many of the people I served with have names that are on walls and plaques. Well, guess what? My parents couldn't speak a word of English. My mom could only write her name. That was it. She knew how to count to 10. She had the educational level of a kindergartner. And everything that I have today is because I earned it. And that is all that we ask as Democrats, as elected leaders, representing our community, as stewards of your taxpayer dollars. All I want is everyone to have the same opportunity that I did. Because one day these girls and boys are going to be in my shoes. But they can only get there if we provide them the resources to succeed so that they don't end up on the streets using drugs or doing other things. Okay, close your ears, guys. But this is the reality. And this is a direct consequence of the actions of this administration, of the Republicans in office, including the ones that I served with today. Because the speaker, he always uses my name. Well, guess what? Today, on my platform, I'm using his name. And the speaker is so close to the president, and he brags about how they're always in a car, in a van, down the river or something, hanging out together. So this is because of them, the policies that they have put in place. And they are in the power, in the majority right now, at the federal level, here in the state house. And all they have been doing is creating chaos and sowing doubt and fear and passing legislation about changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico, which is nowhere near Michigan, by the way, for those of you that took geography. And that is what they are doing, redirecting billions of dollars of your taxpayer dollars to billionaires, millionaires, border security, border control, immigration control, hiring more ICE officers to take people away from their families while they are at work, while they willingly show up. But I want you to remember, look at these children's eyes, look at their faces and remember them, not the criminals that they think are in our streets that are hurting our communities, because these individuals that are missing today, and many, by the way, many other communities, not just the Hmong community, the Hispanic community, the Black community, every single community is hurting. because of these failed immigration policies. Instead of changing these policies and improving them, they are throwing more money, trying to fix a problem that does not exist. The problem is over here. The problem is the policies in place. The problems are the fact that these individuals' parents came here with no educational level, no knowledge of the system, and they were marginalized. Because when I came here to this country, they didn't put me in the Hamptons. They put me in the projects where I was fighting for the same limited resources as other communities of color. They didn't help. They made it worse. My parents didn't want to come here. They hid in the jungles for 4 years. They wanted to stay in their country. They did not want to come here, but they had no choice because of the failed foreign policies. And now, those promises that they made to these veterans is in fear of being broken again.
Lord, support our veterans!
We need to support our veterans, but we need to contact ICE and demand that they release these individuals. I want to give you an update for those of you that do not know. On July 15th, Liu Yang was at work and he was detained by ICE. He is currently being held at the North Lake Processing Center in Baldwin. And then on July 30th, several of these Hmong refugees and their family members arrived at a field office in downtown Detroit. They had received letters in the mail asking them to report to this field office for an interview. And when they arrived, they were quickly detained. Those that had legal representation, their attorneys were allowed to escort them back into a room, watch them get detained, and then had to step out and let their family member know that they were not going to come back. And many of these individuals did not have legal representation. They were not prepared for this bombardment. They went there with all their documents, hoping that they would be able to clarify if there were any misunderstandings. And none of them ever came back out. 15 of them walked in, and 0 came out. We want to know where they are now. We think that they may be in Alexandria, Louisiana. During the weekend, they were transported to Texas. And Liu Yang is currently the only one that is still at the North Lake Baldwin Processing Center. I have been in contact with all the family members. They have reached out to me every single day in tears and crisis mode because they are afraid that they may never see their loved one again, that they were not given the due process that they should be given, and that they are being treated as the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens. And these are members of our community. They came here, they lived here for decades, they built their lives here, and now they have been pulled out of our communities all across Michigan. And with the increase in their border security and the increase in immigration control, our communities are scared. These family members fear for their lives. Some of them have not come forward, not only because of the fear, but because of the shame, because of the cultural stigma, because of the language barrier. And if that is one of you, I hope that by seeing all the people that came out here today, that I hope that you will pray and uplift them and give them the courage and the strength to stand up for what is right, even when you are put up against a giant, even when all hope is lost, that you still have a voice, that your voice matters, and that you have to continue to stand up for your loved ones, because right now they are being silenced. Right now they don't have a voice. We can't communicate with them. We don't know what is happening. There are reports that they are in overcrowded facilities, They are sleeping on the concrete floor, and there is very little food. And some of them require medication that they may not have, that they may have ran out of, that they may not have gotten because they've been detained for so long. All of these individuals entered as strong, healthy individuals. And right now, reports are that their health is deteriorating very quickly. And Alexandria, Louisiana has one of the most highest reports of human rights violations. This is one of the worst places that they could be right now. And this may be their very last stop before they are boarding a plane to Laos. Let me be very clear. Their families fled Laos because of war and persecution. These individuals may have never been to Laos or were never born there. The United States does not have an MOU, a memorandum of understanding with the United States, or repatriation agreements that would agree to safely take in these individuals if they were sent there. Once they arrive, we don't know what is going to happen. And once they arrive, they may not have anyone to reach out to. They might still be hungry. They might still be tired. And God forbid, they may be sick. So we have to do everything we can to bring these individuals home. Because everybody, even all of you, deserves a second chance. And with that, I would like to bring forward one of the family members to come and speak. This is Anissa Lee, and she's the daughter of Sifin Yang. She spoke this morning at a press conference, and I'm extremely proud of her. I want you to know just how difficult it is to come up here and speak in front of a crowd. I mean, even me, when I do it so often, I'm still nervous and shaking. And I bet if you were
it's the story of so many families across this country. He came here as a little boy with my grandmother, escaping the aftermath of the Vietnam War. They arrived here in America with nothing but hope and belief that this country would be a safe place where they could build a better life. And that's exactly what my father did. He went to school here. He made friends here. He learned the language, the culture, the values of this country. He worked hard, paid his taxes, and raised his family with love and dedication. He never missed a bill. He showed up for his family every single day. The United States is the only home that my father known and has ever known. He doesn't have memories of the country that they want to send him to. He doesn't have family there. His life, his children, his roots, they're all here. Yet now, after decades of living here, they want to take him away. They want to send him to a place he has never truly known, without the people who love and depend on him. And he is not alone. This is happening to fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, sons, and daughters all across this country. When I think about my dad, I think about the man who told me to stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. The man who believed in giving, even when we didn't have much to give. He is the reason I am standing here today, speaking to all of you. This fight is more than immigration. This is about humanity. It's about keeping families together. It's about compassion, justice, and the belief that
We had a landmark step in the movement today. The PROTEST, the rallies, the marching band orders, the musical festival of 2025, all of this has been getting significantly suppressed lately, right? But today in Lansing, Michigan, a big step forward happened. And I need you guys to get this message out there. Not by size. We had about 200 individuals out here, and not by the individuals who came, which were impactful. The speakers were crazy. The crowd was amazing for the people who were out here, and not by the age demographics, so either. The real landmark jump that we saw today here in Lansing, Michigan, is that we had real representation state elected Michigan district representation take that stage and that podium and address the people and say that they want to hold them accountable, hold everyone accountable, not the people, not these people. They want the crowd holding them and the rest of our elected officials accountable. This is huge. We have not had a single large rep at any protest that I have seen online or reported on or with my own eyes, with my very own eyes. It's absolutely flabbergasting. So today we had 2 Michigan reps out here supporting the Hmong rally for the wrongfully detained Hmong refugees. District 13, Mai Xiong, and District 77, Emily D., who I'm going to butcher the last name of, actually climbed up those stairs and sat there and said, we're going to do everything in our power to try and get these Hmong refugees back in their homes and back to their families. These stories and speeches left me in absolute tears. And when I tell you, I feel a glimmer of hope once more because we had real representation that we've elected join us at one of these local events. It feels like the tide could finally, possibly turn. After 7-8 months of this administration, we have real representation joining us, climbing up those stairs and saying, enough is enough. I'm Jackie K of Now News. Make sure you follow me for everything PROTEST related and local fun Lansing news and Michigan news and national news that just gets my grinds going.